Hello, everybody. This is episode 4 of J and W versus the world, where we scour the globe and see what the universe has to offer. This time, we're kind of staying home here, and we are. I say we because I'm actually here with J-Dogg. How you doing, brother?
I'm well, man. Like you said, hashtag stay at home, right? We're all staying
Yeah.
home with this COVID-19 situation. I hope everybody is being safe and healthy, and that your families are good, and all of you are at work, or I mean working, or getting your jobs back and getting your life in order. So hopefully soon this all passes.
So we're here to kind of do a recap of Conquer All and Last Stand. Sorry it took a while, but like a lot of personal stuff got in the way, and this everything just blew up and fell apart at the seams. So better late than never. Better late than never. But we are here nonetheless. And basically, with this, we're going to be recapping the Conquer All and Last Stand show that was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. At this point, it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. At this point, so it took us a while. But, whatever. Jesus.
You know what? We just been on what for a minute or two or something, and I already
Yeah.
feel weird because I can't. I'm not shitting all over you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Like
feels
it's
a
like
little weird, boss.
like every part of you feels like okay, this is like y'all expect some type of
every part of me wants to start talking about your Goldberg pajamas or your Chris Danker pajamas, but that's another day, We'll,
right. And part of you want to do that, but this is a chill version of this podcast. So for those that don't know what this podcast is, this is basically just a chilled podcast. It's a chill podcast, and we talk about universe mode stuff, universe mode related things. And I wanted to get guests on there. I had Coltrane on one time. That was a very good listen. If you guys want to go check that out, and this should
that
be
was
a very,
fantastic.
Thank you. And this should be a very good one as well. And of course, eventually, as I mentioned before, I want to eventually get like branches out to like non universe mode creators and whatever, and do things with people who aren't maybe in this field or whatever. I have a couple of people in mind that I could probably do that with, but I'll get to that when the time comes. But until then,
That's going to be a lot of fun, man. And I'm just saying, let me just say that I love this format when you did it with Coltrane and you introduced this J&W versus the world. I thought it was fantastic. I mean, we talked about it off the air, and I just say, man, this is it's refreshing. You could sit here, we could basically shoot the shit,
right.
just be chill, like you said, and and you're a chill guy, man. We talk a lot off the. We talk a lot for people that don't know. We talk a lot. We don't just do
Yeah.
our shows together and do the commentating where we kick it up a notch, and I become this arrogant just heel character of
Right.
myself, which there's some of that inside of me, but I'm pretty much for the most part I'm pretty much I would say a chill guy as well. We talk a lot, man. We talk a lot about life and other things. So I just wanted to say on the air here, on record, that I appreciate you, man. Not just for being an online buddy of mine, but I consider you now a friend, man. Even though we've never met in person, but I consider you a friend, and I appreciate it. And all the work you do here, man, on YouTube, and your shows are severely underrated, man. You should have a lot more subscribers, and we've always talked about that. But just keep doing what you do, man. We love it. I know Coltrane, big supporter now, and I think we'll all keep growing together and just just doing this for fun, man.
That's real, man. That's real. So thank you for that. And again, J-Dog's link and everything will be down there in the description, especially with Heatwave. Goodness, man. Like, bro.
I don't want to pat myself on the back,
You
but what a show,
wild out
man.
with
And
Heatwave.
and you were a big part of that, man. Like I've told people before, you're not just a lead commentator, I'll say, on ECW, but you're also a big part of the booking team, man. You actually had me, I think, booked up for months to go, so I don't have to worry about anything. There you go. Secrets out of the bag.
Yeah.
The head booker. You're like Jim Ross, right? Back in the day, Jim Ross was the lead announcer there on WWE, but he was also behind the scenes, booking, working with talent. So.
And I'll be sure to drop
You're the JR of YouTube.
Thanks. Do what I can, Get myself out there, get myself around there. And speaking of wrestling shows, I guess let's finally get into Conquer All and Last Stand. There will be a link there will be a timestamp down there in the comments and in the pinned comment down below. Timestamp there. That way y'all can just jump to this if you didn't want to hear us just run our mouth. Is there anything else you want to say before we get into the actual shows?
Well, I could keep going forever. You know me, man. I'll sit here and I'll take up the whole hour or 2 hours just blabbing away of other stuff. So maybe I shouldn't talk, and I'll talk as things come up. And I mean, besides that, just everybody, just be safe and just have fun, man. With this whole YouTube thing, let's just have fun, And I think that sometimes I don't know if you've missed it, but sometimes I've missed it where I try to turn it into work and I want to get stuff out quicker and this, and it becomes kind of work. And I'm like, no, it's better when I'm just having fun with it. And I had fun with Heat Wave. And again, thank you for just being a part of that.
No problem.
And just being a big part of my team,
Not a problem at all. So I guess speaking of which, let's get into Conquer All. This one was emanating from in-game wide Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know why I picked Atlanta. I just thought it was cool.
Oh, Atlanta. Okay.
It was emanating from Atlanta. I don't know why. I just feel like doing it. Oh, no. I think it just I was in the main event, and I wanted to do something kind of cool with him, kind of portray him as a face a bit, so why not?
The old stomping grounds of the NWA and /WCW, man.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. But yeah.
So the headquarters were...
Yeah. Oh, Atlanta. Last night actually went first, but I think Conquer All is better. We just talk about that first, so there you go.
Sure, whatever you want. It's your show.
Yeah, I'll do Conquer All then, since I already mentioned it. So we kicked things off with, well, it was supposed to be a match, but we kicked things off with Z.I.S. saying that Trish will not be able to compete, and in her place will be Diamond, because Trish was supposedly attacked in her hotel room, which led to Carolyn versus Diamond one-on-one match. Now, the honest reason behind why I did this is because I wanted to inject some life, really? Inject a little bit more life into this women's division, because let's keep it real. Everybody would have thought Carolyn beating Trish. From a mile away.
Yeah, I think so, man. Especially since, like you said, it's a call show. You probably don't want to put the title on Trish.
Or put it back. No, let me say it. Put it back on her. No. Yeah. Nope. I went down that road before. Nope.
Okay, so you wanted to add a little bit of that element of unpredictability then.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to keep it there, and I think I'm starting to get there with her, with the women's division, and with Diamond specifically. The reason why I picked her, because I wanted somebody who I feel that persona-wise could match Carolyn. And Diamond, she was in AOR for a little bit. Yep. Because she managed the team of Sin and Raz, so I decided to move her and, by virtue, them over to AOA too. Because, I didn't really have anything for them in the AOR. So I'm like, okay, let me maybe move them to AOA, see if I can get something going there. Sure.
Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, but she just beat the. I'm actually watching it while we're talking about it. I'm watching this match again, and man, Diamond just beat the hell out of her on the outside of the ring with that damn chair, man.
Right.
Holy crap.
Right.
Wow.
So the match was thrown out via disqualification. Yeah. Because and then it was revealed afterwards that it was Miss Wilcox, who was Carolyn's kind of manager per se. I would explain that story a little bit more because XTV actually started that storyline. So I'll explain a little bit more with that. Since XTV was the one that started that storyline. But for those that have been watching long enough, Miss Wilcox is actually Akira Wilcox, if y'all remember her from the early days of AOA. So that's the same. That's her. Okay. Essentially. And so this is definitely going to lead somewhere, but I kind of did that to kind of get the show started in an interesting direction. It's and as far as the match itself between Carolyn and Diamond, it wasn't great. I'll say that right now.
You think it was great? What do you give it?
No.
How many stars?
Oh, wow. Okay, I wasn't even planning on rating it, but since you say that.
Well, we don't have to do it for every match. I just wanted, since you said it wasn't great,
2. 2 out of 5. It was
That's fair.
It was
And that's what
average.
everybody's
It
going
was
to get, man. For people listening now that haven't listened before, what you're going to get is real honest stuff, man. And I do that in my show as well, where you've heard me, I've buried some of the talent. I've buried some of the matches. We had a fun, I mean, off the top of my head, I remember the Bulldog Goldust match. And we just, man, we were just like, oh, thank God it's over. And I'm like, you know, I mean, hey, look, if there's a bad match, it's not like, cause, you know, I enjoy that about you, and I enjoy that about like how we do it together with that, because you don't get a lot of that, and you don't get a lot, especially in real life. Like every pay-per-view is the biggest pay-per-view, every WrestleMania is the biggest, and every match is fantastic. And no, it's not, man. Some matches are gonna suck, just like in the NFL and the NBA. When you have some games are crappy, some games are boring, you know. And you can tell the announcers are a little bit more real there, because they start just shooting the shit with something else and talking about something else, and they mention it. So I'm like, you know what, take an element of that into wrestling. Like, don't insult your fans, and you know, just say it. When a match is not good, we could say it, you know. But anyway, I didn't think that match was terrible. I didn't think the Carolina match was terrible in my end. But I think 2.5 stars. You know, it was decent rating.
It was alright. I mean, for just getting started, I think it was okay. But I think I would more focus on the story aspect of it to kind of throw the quality of that match under the bus a bit. So
and you always do a fantastic job with that, man.
Don't be afraid to do that.
You always do. Don't do what?
I was saying, don't be afraid to do that. Like, even if it is a pay-per-view, if you know, now if you just throw the quality of the match under the bus for the sake of not caring about it, okay.
That's different. Yeah, that's different.
But
that's different. Yeah, don't bury your entire show. Don't bury things. You know, I mean, if you're taking that serious approach, and I guess that's the different thing. Some people take. Cole was talking about this on either one of his podcasts, and we were talking about it online. He's like, yeah, you know what? When he was reviewing my show, I think he said, what I enjoy is that, you know, we bring comedy. Me and you bring some comedy into it, and I don't mind breaking. We broke the 4th, 5th, 6th wall. We don't mind doing that. But then there's that element of still seriousness in it, and we have a serious situation, and we have a good match or something, and we give it the respect that it deserves, while then having the comedy and having all that and breaking that 4th wall. So yeah, don't be afraid to do that and be real, you know?
Right, you know. So I was like, okay, I said forget it, and so I kind of just I didn't really necessarily care about the quality of that match, but I did it in favor of story.
The story.
Because if that match would have been like 15 minutes as opposed to everything else, and like people would have said, okay, that match was too long. So I just kind of wanted to get that story beat out there and then get that reveal going. For some reason, I feel like that reveal fell a little flat. Maybe because people may not remember the Akira character really that well. That's probably.
I think that's a lot of the cases. Yeah, it's a reveal, and you have, you know, that was a long time ago, and you have a lot more, you know, people who are watching now, or people who didn't watch before and watching, including myself. You know, I didn't watch a lot of your early stuff, and we got together after. So yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But still, it was that element of surprise, and it was that unpredictability that wouldn't have been there. I think it was better than having Trish Stratus there, because that would have been, maybe if you would have had her there, maybe you get a decent match because you focus on the match, but there's no story there that could lead forward. So and there's no unpredictability. So there you go.
I mean, because that reveal would have happened either if you won or didn't. That, like, one way or another, that reveal was going to happen. But I think it helped that we kind of took Trish out of the equation and then and then did that. So
with Diamond, and the match was thrown out, like you said, right? So this could, I mean, after that vicious attack with the chair and everything on the outside, you could now milk a rematch out of it, you know, and do that while you're continuing to build the rest of the women's division. I don't know what your mindset is on that, and like I said, we talk about the women's division there, and if we've talked about a lot before, that women's division in AOR is absolutely awesome. That's why they main evented that first pay-per-view. And I know you've told me sometimes, if you want to talk about it now, like about the whole women's division in general in AOA, what is the good, the bad, and the ugly, I guess, you know, like, what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, the good, that I brought the thing back in the first place.
It's a good start, boss.
Bad, I'll also say the good is that I got more female calls now than I did the first time. Because I don't think I had enough or nearly enough that first time to make that work necessarily, and now I think I do personally. With Diamond, with Miss Wilcox, with some others that I've gotten donated from people recently. So I will have more women on the show that I can actually do something with.
Gotcha. And we've talked about some major things, Tubex. I don't know if you want to talk about that. If you don't, that's cool. If it's surprises, but no, some of the stuff with the bringing other women over from, and
Ooh,
I'm not going to mention anybody.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay, gotcha.
That.
Oh, well, that's why I didn't want to go there.
Yeah, let's save that.
But there you go. There's a little buzz, man. The women's division is, going to get a high dose of adrenaline injected to it, with all this, like you said, the new cause that you have and other things that you have in the works. So.
Right. So, but as far as getting the show started, and maybe match-wise, it probably wasn't the best thing, but I think from a story standpoint, if you watch the show and you're more invested in the show, then it's like, all right, story-wise, that's not bad.
Did you ever worry and if I cut you off, Tim, go ahead and keep going because I'll keep. I could stay on a match for like 3 hours. You know me, man. I'll But real quick, just the last thing. Did you? Speaking of that, did you? How'd you battle that? Because I know you do like to start off sometimes with or most of the time we talk about that, starting off with a good match, and getting people hooked at the beginning. Did you worry about that you weren't going to have that high caliber match, let's say, and you instead of story?
For this show, I was mainly trying to redeem the version of the show from season 1.
Okay.
Because I have openly buried that one. As one of my worst pay-per-views, if not the worst pay-per-view I've had of season 1. So with this one, I'm like, okay, I think the story is good enough, and it was built up. The story was built up. Because, like, we saw all these different women laid out in the locker room or whatever, and the question was, we were trying to figure out who was doing it. So I think it paid off at a good time.
Okay, that makes sense.
Flat, but
and I love the ending, man. Like that, I mean, when she really beat the hell out of her with that chair and just planted her with that like corkscrew, whatever it was.
Brian Cage finished.
Brain buster, whatever on the chair. That was brutal, bro. So yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I think that storyline that works.
Okay.
Stuff to kick off the show, and I guess let's go ahead and move on to the next match here. The 3, if I remember my show correctly, it is a 3-on-1 handicap match.
Yep, I'm watching it right now.
Between the Twisted Circle, which is the team of Ace Stone, JH3, and Lucian versus Forsaken 3-on-1. I tried to make this matchup as entertaining as possible. And I think by that token, I feel like I succeeded at that. By the same token, I feel like I succeeded at that because I'm trying to really build the Twisted Circle group as a group to be feared, if that makes sense. But I'm also doing this character thing with Ace Stone to try to make what he has said to be a reality. Like, for instance, I had him say in a promo that Weapons of Mass Destruction is not going to leave season 1 with the tag team titles. They didn't. That Wolfpack wasn't going to win the tag team title from Weapons of Mass Destruction, and they kind of didn't.
So he's a prophet per se, something like that, right?
Inadvertently, yes.
You're gonna start calling him Nostradamus.
But inadvertently, yes. And I think I really like the character of Ace Stone because I think they're one of the more unique teams.
Yeah.
Like if I had tag team championships on AOA, they would have been tag champ by now.
They'd be tag champs by now.
Almost guaranteed they would have been tag champions by now.
Okay.
Probably still.
I think you did. I think the match was entertaining. They most of the time they beat the hell out of him.
Right.
But it was a 3-on-1, and even a monster like Forsaken. Like you're like, okay, he's standing in and he's taking it. But how much can you take when it's 3-on-1? So it made sense, and yeah, I thought it was entertaining because there was that element. You like that element of unpredictability. It's kind of okay. Well, it is 3-on-1. They're gonna get him, but this guy's a monster. At the end of the day, can he actually pull it off? Is he actually gonna do this? So I think you captured some of that.
And I feel like I couldn't have Forsaken beat these 3. I really couldn't.
No way. You would have you would have buried them, man.
Yeah, they would have got
strong as Forsaken. Yeah, strong as Forsaken is, like, I mean, as a character and just a huge individual. You see him there, he's towering over them.
Right.
Yeah, like that would have been, especially as you say, you think so high of this team and you want to push them and you want that. Like, I mean, they would have, that would have been a burial and a mistake, I think, in my book, if you would have had that. So I think it was the right outcome in this match. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All day long. That would have been a swift burial.
Yeah.
And then Reaper came out afterwards.
He did?
Right.
No. I'm saying
You
you
haven't
did.
gotten there. But Reaper came out afterwards and made his return with a whole new look and redid his look and everything.
Yep.
I think he looked a heck of a lot better now.
Oh, I remember that. I did catch that part.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it now again, actually.
Yep. So
Here he is.
It looked
That was a
heck
great
of a lot
entrance,
better
man. That was a great fucking entrance. Look at that.
Thanks.
Wow.
But yeah, redid his entrance a bit and all that stuff. Redid his entrance a bit and all that stuff. And he came out and he essentially told, I'm probably jumping ahead for you, but he essentially told the Twitter circles, like, you had one job, don't ever disobey orders again. And I just left it at that. Because it's like, okay, what orders? Were they ordered to take him out?
Exactly.
What was the order? And I think I already know what it is. I already know what it is, of course. So I think.
But you're not going to tell us, huh?
Oh, not now. No, you crazy.
What if I buy you new Chris Danker pajamas or give you his album on Spotify?
That just makes me never want to reveal it. Then at that point, so never mind. That would be one of those stories that would just be lost in the sands of time, thanks to you.
See, I had to throw that in there, man. That my character's always there, man. It's not fake for people who think it is either. Or I go overboard like that. That's who I am. It's just like that's why I enjoy Coltrane too. I know it's just him, just like The Rock say, just kick the volume up high, all the way high, and that's what we do. So, but this is good, man. Look, I'm watching this again, not because I didn't see it. I did remember exactly all that. I did see the Reaper thing; it was awesome. But now that I'm seeing it again, yeah, man, like his attire is beast. I really love it. Really love the entrance. And one thing I'm noticing too, man, and we didn't talk about, like your production value has really skyrocketed, man. Like your things are looking better, they're sounding better. Like what'd you do, boss man?
Honestly, I simply started recording things using my Elgato for one.
Okay.
I use things with my Elgato, and I kick the game volume up a little bit.
Nice.
And then I record my audio stuff through Adobe Premiere itself instead of.
Look at that. So you got new or old tools that you're using, because I know you had Elgato before, so old tool that you're using again, and new tools in Adobe. And
yeah,
I mean your stuff is looking really, really, really tight. So congrats on that, man.
Thank you. But as far as the match, I thought it was good, and I still think it now leaves people. I'm the type of universe mode that likes to get people to think about stuff for a minute. And it kind of shows in my commentary. I don't know if y'all notice it shows in my commentary as well. I like to get people to think a bit. So, like, I mean, yeah, sometimes that can kind of work to my disadvantage, because it's like, okay, that means you have to kind of watch the show long enough to get where I'm going, or to get what I'm trying to get you to think about in the first place. But I feel I do a decent job at explaining it. Like, whenever the character or myself or whatever is explaining what's going on, I feel I do a decent job at explaining it. That way, even if you're new, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, actually. You know what I'm saying?
I have to disagree with you. I don't think you do a decent job.
Okay.
I think you do a fantastic job of doing that, boss, if I may. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I think you do a fantastic job doing that, and with the characters and the promos, and then with your commentary always, and that's what I love when you do that with my show. You bring even more of that story element to it, which I like to do too, and we both just bounce off of each other with that. So that's why it's a good fit when we do it, But no, I think you do a fantastic job. Like, you could watch a show, and even if you haven't seen anything, like if I'm watching Conquer All, and I mean, I'm not listening to your commentary now because we're doing this, but if I'm watching Conquer All and I'm listening to the commentary or any of your other shows, I don't have to necessarily have seen a lot before, because you're giving a lot of that backstory, you're giving a lot of that while the entrances are going on, or even in the matches or during the promos and all that. So you give a lot of that where, like you said, people can pick up and say, okay, hey, I'm enjoying this, and let me see where the story goes, and okay, I got a little bit of that background, and that's something you do great, man. And that's why I say, highly, highly underrated. You should have a lot more, people here. But I don't know. Do you think that hurts you in some ways with the society we're living in, that just wants stuff now and just wants stuff? Your stuff is built up. You like telling that story and building it up, and
it. I think it. Honestly, I think it can, to a certain extent. I think it can. And then B, for the people who know it, it feels like I'm drilling it in their head.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling if I didn't,
No, but I appreciate that. I appreciate. I mean, me myself, which I've told you, I have a bad memory, and like so. Maybe because I'm an old man, I don't know early signs of dementia. Who knows? But I appreciate that when you're in a match, you're like, oh man, I forgot this, and then boom, you say, oh okay, thanks, boss, and I'm like,
Right.
thanks for reminding me, like so.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, man, and I think it. Speaking of the hurting thing, it's like at the end of the day, we do this for fun, right? And we have to enjoy what we do. And we've talked about it before with everybody. If I could open up this can of worms, a lot of people and those that are big, like they do the regular Raw, SmackDown, maybe NXT.
Hold on. J-Dogg.
Same pay-per-views, capture
Hold on, repeat what you said. You cut out like big way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said that if I could open up that can of worms, can you hear me now?
You said Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then you cut off after that.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And that does help them probably get more audience. I think sometimes myself, I'm like, if I wouldn't do the Raw, Nitro, ECW old school thing, I could maybe get more subscribers, more views if I just did the classic Raw, SmackDown, and did the whole pay-per-views. But it would go against what I want to do, and it would go, wouldn't be as creative as I can. I wouldn't be as creative as I can be.
And then mentally for me, like I've thought about that same thing. I thought about doing that same thing. Like recently, I thought about doing that same thing, and then in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, I could do that, and it would definitely work because people have enjoyed what I've done when I've commentated for other people, and the fact that I was able to do Dell Dark one time, so there was that too. Yeah. So I think people would enjoy if I were to do like that Raw, SmackDown, NXT thing. But the problem is for me, bam, there goes my originality that I had, and there may be an audience out there that is looking for something original, probably just haven't found the channel to provide that yet.
Yeah. And it's a slower build than I guess that, so that's why we're not getting those big numbers. I mean, it's going to be a slow build, but I feel once people catch on, then that niche will catch on to that, and I've seen it with your show, and I've seen it with my, like I said, people do comment, and then they'll do that. Not a lot, but we've got those comments where it's like, hey, I like what you're doing, it's unique, I like that you have this, old format of that you use old characters and new characters, and then call, and then on your end, hey, you just use all these calls, and it's so much I mean, your shows even to talk about creativity, like, I mean, I try to be creative with my storylines and my things, but I use regular guys. It's a lot easier, and I don't mind saying it. It's a lot easier what I do than what you do with the call universe, and I applaud you for that. And it sounds again like I'm blowing smoke up your ass here and overselling you here, but who cares? That's what I'm here for. That's what you're paying me for. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, as far as the old Twisted Cycles and Reaper thing, I think it worked. I think it definitely a good story, and I think you guys would definitely want to stick around for the further stories with that. If I can pull up my own show real quick.
Next up is the Connor Young.
Don't you mean Tyson Young? Don't you mean Tyson Young?
I'm sorry, yes, Tyson Young. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Connor, bro. I don't know why he mentioned you on that, but Tyson Young.
This thing is shout out to my boy Connor, man.
Yeah, for real.
Jeez, I'll tell you, this cabin fever's getting to me, man. I told you, early signs of dementia plus cabin fever, plus stuff that's going on in my life and just not working now. And for those that don't know, yes, I am temporary employed.
Kind of like unemployed, but anyway,
for now,
yeah. Tyson Young. With Sean Wright for the All-Star.
There you go.
And by the way, if I were to rate the other match, I would rate it probably 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Tyson Young versus Sean Wright for the All-Star Championship. Probably Tyson's best match, period. Probably one of Tyson's best match I've had him in. Like, period, up to this point. Because his single matches have been like okay at best, You know what I'm saying? So I think as far as like a singles match, this is probably, I don't want to say a breakout, but because him and Wallace actually had a really good match on the episode of on an episode of the AOA when I had Wallace just straight out wrestle him. So,
speaking of Wallace, it's weird to see anybody with that All-Star Championship except Wallace, man. He needs to get it back yesterday.
He made that championship. He really did. His reign made that championship. I don't think Sean's doing a bad reign, having a bad reign right now, at least. I don't think
he's not, but I'm just such a fan of Wallace, man. And you know that I love that character, and I love what you've done with him, and not what you've done with him, just in him and in the ring and how he acts in his promos and stuff, but how you react to him on commentary just makes that whole thing so much better, so fun, man.
Good. One of my personal favorite heel characters I've created, honestly. So as far as this match here between Tyson and Sean, though, yeah, I thought it was good, and I think the face turn that Tyson had went over well with people. Because that was kind of building up, and people were kind of waiting for that to pay off. So I'm glad it paid off as the season premiere of AOA Season 2. So people had a feeling that was coming. It happened, and now we're kind of playing the thing of, oh, is it a trap? Is Tyson just trying to fool people here? I think I should have played that up a little bit in the match. I don't think I did. But I should have played that up a little bit during this match. Like maybe.
How would you have played that off?
Oh, easy. Tyson, he gets maybe frustrated or whatever, and then like maybe he kind of I could have did something real simple. Just have him just look at the ref, and then just look back at Sean, and I could have played it off on commentary, like, oh, he probably thought about attacking the ref or something. I could have played it off on commentary.
Well, he could have grabbed the chair too. He could have grabbed the chair, bring it in the ring,
something like that, right?
And then not use it, and like kind of throw it out. You know, remove the turnbuckle, but really not smash it.
Remove the turnbuckle, but not use it.
I got you.
Yeah. So
that would have driven it. That would have driven it home. You could still do that, and if you could still kind of tease that and do that. So there you go.
Yeah. So I can. So I mean that's kind of the thing that we were playing up there. But I think as a match overall, it wasn't bad. I think
the match was good, man. If I remember correctly, I'm seeing something that it was a lot back and forth. Like Tyson looked really good, but it was a lot of back and forth action, man. A lot of movement. Just like this was more that this was that AOA style that you like to do, which I think it's at the whole new school, NXT kind of thing where it's like back and forth a lot and a lot of action, versus some of the old formulas that sometimes I use and.
We see in WWE formula there. I used a couple of the old formulas before.
You have.
So,
but it's just when I think of AOA, I think all-out action. Like I think more of a match like this, or some of your, and we'll get to that later, some of your tag team matches, which are just phenomenal. I don't know how the hell you do that, but I'm still trying to learn from you with the tag team matches.
But I think as far as the match goes, Sean ended up picking up the win here. I think Sean ended up picking up the win here with his hit the finisher on him, and it was kind of a wrap at that point. And I think overall, not a bad look, not a bad. It wasn't Sean's first defense. I think it was like his second technically, but not a bad match for Tyson. I can definitely do some stuff with him in the mid card scene going forward. As far as him and Sean is continuing to have a good reign, I probably might go back to the well with him and Austin again, given their rivalry and everything. I probably might go back there again. I'm not sure.
I'd pay to take my money. Take my money, man, because anything with Wallace, and especially that with that history with him and Tyson. And Tyson looked good here, man, and we've talked a lot about that in a lot of matches, and I've given you praise for doing this as well, and I think I've tried to do this, and I've done this successfully with, let's say, like the likes of Samoa Joe or Aleister Black, just making someone look really good in defeat, like not burying someone. Like, you could lose 1, 2, twice. I think, in my universe, you can see Adam Cole, man. Adam Cole, I don't remember the last time he's won a damn match, but he looks like he belonged in that main event of Heatwave, and you believed it, right? It was, he just looked fantastic. So, I think you did a good job here at keeping Tyson, John, like you said, making him a viable contender in that mid card level, so.
Right, and then after after Tyson's match, we have Darren in the back cutting a promo.
Yeah, the champ.
We have Darren in the back cutting a promo, and the whole stick of his promo is that he's been there and done that before, and I have him list off a couple of his accomplishments. And one of the things I had saved that I didn't mention on commentary or anything was that he competed in an Elimination Chamber before. And so I intentionally never really brought that up.
Why
and kind
not?
of say I didn't do it on purpose because because up to this point everybody's thinking, oh crap, Darren's already in a rough spot, his ego may get the best of him, blah 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 blah.
Gotcha.
But I saved him saying he's been in an Elimination Chamber before for this show because it's like, oh wait, he's been in this type of match before. Okay.
So you didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't
No, I did.
It wasn't like a WWE thing where they're like, oh yeah, no, let's forget this because we're gonna do this a
No, I
first
didn't
time
forget it.
thing, or
I didn't forget it. No.
they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They try to. They insult our intelligence, this or that. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I had Darren say that, like, yeah, he's been in an Elimination Chamber before over in NBW. He didn't win, but he's been in a chamber match before. So that's why. So I intentionally saved that part. I was gonna reference it at some point, but I just saved it for this part. So I think it was a decent promo. Probably not as good as his Armageddon promo because that was like the best promo I've cut with him. Period. Up to this point.
I mean, he's just fantastic, man. I talk about Wallace, but what you've done with with the champion, man, with it's just been awesome, man. It's just awesome how you've just made it from that like that. He had that superhuman effort, right, to win that championship against Monster that time where he fought dude. Oh my God! As a face, had this big baby face moment where he wins the championship, and then like right after that, he starts becoming this cocky, arrogant heel. And you did it in such a great way, and it was very subtle at the beginning. It wasn't just like boom, oh this guy's an asshole now. It was like no, it was a little build there, and then he just became this cocky, arrogant guy. And it's just, I mean, what you're doing with him is awesome, and we've talked about what you're doing with him going forward, and I think it's so fantastic, man. Just the whole thing tying to it's just great.
We're gonna get into that towards the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
But I think that was a pretty decent promo of his, leading into our next matchup. All right, we're back. We're back for the. I get to kind of continue talking here. I have a timer set now. That way I kind of know, all right, we're still good on time and whatever. So, which leads to this next match.
You okay there?
Yeah, I'm cool. You? I'm good.
Oh, I thought you took a chair or something. I don't know.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Turn to my chair a little bit.
Just checking up on you.
Which leads to this next match. Honestly, my personal, I thought this was match of the night. Honestly.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
the best match I've had between these two, period. And I was happy about that because their first two matches were okay to bad.
So you went from okay to bad to these two stealing the show, pretty much.
It went from bad to okay to okay. This is what y'all doing now. Gotcha.
And that's just great. You know what? I always thought, man, like having two big guys like this, like to me, maybe it's because it's not my style of like, man, like I prefer the technical, man. I always think of a 5-star match being two technical guys, but I've done it on my show too, where I've gotten two big dudes and they can have, a good match. I think I did with Braun Strowman and Killian Dane, and then so I see this here and I'm watching this match again and it's like, I remember this match. I remember clearly, man, and it's just the spots in the match and the brutality of it. And just like you could have two big guys and still have a very, very good match, an entertaining match,
Because the catch is they gotta have the moveset to make it work.
Yes.
Catch is they have to have a good moveset to make it work. Some guys, they don't go well because they ain't got the moveset to really make it work.
That's true. That is true. Like if I have Andre the Giant out there, I don't know. I'm looking at Andre, and that's why I put him in my Universe Mo in a tag team, because I'm like, he could come in, he does his stuff for a few seconds, he looks awesome, and just like I'm like, hey, can I have a good match with him? Don't be afraid to
alternate his move either.
That's a good recommendation. That's
I mean,
true. Why not? It's a
small,
video game right now.
But
why not? Imagine
move.
having. That's a great point, man. And you always give me these good feedback. And can you imagine Andre the Giant doing a drop kick off the top rope?
Bruh, yeah, no, we. So, but just a standing drop kick period. I mean, hey, bro, be wild.
Okay. A little enziguri. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something. Man.
Well, that's a good idea. Thanks. Guys,
Um,
learn from J&W Boss, man. He's got a very creative mind, and there you go. Don't feel bad, or don't overlook that. You can go in and you can alter people's moves, and I actually have done that. I did it with Kenny Omega and Adam Cole in their main event of Heatwave, so I've done that before. But that's a good thing, man. You got two big guys that don't have a lot of different moves. Put some other moves on there. Make the match look better.
Yeah, so I did that here, and I think it also helped that I made no count out, so they gave them a little bit more leeway and gave them some more space to do what they need to do. And they went for probably close to 30 minutes.
Wow.
And
it was that long. It didn't feel that long.
They went for close to 30 minutes, I want to say. And
it did not feel that long.
A incredible match, from Monster jumping off the stage to Monster then getting put to the announce table, the tombstone on the metal part of the ramp. Oh, and by the way, stage spots aren't bad. Just saying. You're looking for a small way to get a stream. Stage spots aren't bad. Meaning, slamming them on the stage and whatever, that's fine.
Yes.
Sell it on commentary, though.
You have to, yeah. And I'm just seeing it now. I'm in the part of the match now where they are fighting in the stage. It's funny that you said that's like if you're watching what I'm watching, but they're fighting in this stage. Oh, there you go, spine buster on the stage. Dave just spine busters, and Monster was on top of the table too, tearing off the table at. You have that spot where they have the table at on the stage instead of at ringside as well. So don't mind, using that part. So yeah, man, that all went into the story and it was fantastic.
Right. So they tore it up, and then you're gonna see some more brutal spots later with them getting involved with the steps and whatever. Mm-hmm. And that was probably.
And your highlight reel use, man. Sorry to cut, but your highlight reel use is getting really good too, and I know we both started using that now, and that's it creates a different element, right? It creates a different element. You're giving these different views, and it just looks cool, man. It looks cool.
Indeed. So these two had probably match of the night. Honestly, let me rate Tyson versus Shawn now. I mean, you already kind of got me going with the trends. Let me rate Tyson versus Shawn.
Well, you don't have to, but sure, go ahead.
Well, whatever. I already kind of started with the other ones. So, and in fact, I'll leave that up to y'all. Do y'all want me to honestly rate these matches when I do these, or not? So just let me know. We're gonna rate them for now, but if you don't want me to rate them, if you don't really care about it, let me know.
Now the rating, we're doing 1 star to 5 star. That's the
1 to 5,
basic.
Yeah.
Okay. So you gave the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave so far. I gave Carolyn versus Diamond 2. Mm-hmm. I gave the handicap match 3. Tyson versus Shawn, I would give maybe 3 1/4. Okay. This one I would give about 4 1/4. I'll give about 4 1/4.
I would give this one a solid 4.5, man. I just really enjoyed this match. It was to me, it was that good, man. Just being two big guys like that, it was.
I think it went a little bit, for me, I thought that match, my only complaint is I think that match went a little bit too long at the end. A tad bit too long at the end. But I don't think it dragged like that Armageddon match did. I think it, for this match, with the Armageddon match, I should have saved 5 or 10 minutes off. With this one, I could probably only have shaved 1 or 2, maybe 3 minutes off, and I would have been fine. So, yeah.
Right at the end, okay. Yeah. And another advice for people or whatever, hey, they we've been doing this for a long time now. We don't be afraid to criticize yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Go with the flow. Let things go. Don't. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just be creative and let it flow. Let those creative juices flow. But don't feel bad either in going back and criticizing yourself. Check your ego and don't criticize. Say, okay, how could I? This was even in a great match. Hey, this was a great match. But you hear boss, yeah, it was a great match. But you know what? I could have shaved 3 minutes or something. Don't be afraid to do that, because that's how you learn that moving forward. It just comes natural then, because you already implanted that in your head. Okay, maybe I could do this and do that, and there you go. And it doesn't mean that a 30-minute match is bad. I've had, going back again to Heatwave, man, Cole and Omega, I think, went up for 40-something minutes, and it did not feel that long. When we called it, we both said it did not feel that long. But now I had my Triple H versus Rock match, which I think went on maybe like 10 minutes too long, and that. So, don't be afraid to go back and kind of criticize yourself, or critique your work. Let's put it that way. Don't criticize your work, critique your work, and then learn from it and move forward,
Yeah. And I think what also helped is that there was a promo package I had before that, like right before that match too.
Yeah.
With the music and all that stuff, so that was cool. And I kind of used Dave's I kind of used Dave's like first ever voice promo that he did, since it highlighted the history and everything right there. I kind of used that and then matched it up with the clips that matched it up with certain clips and certain parts of their feud and history and everything. So I think that also helped the enjoyment of the match as well.
No, that's going back to what you said, that you tell that story. You don't have to watch necessarily the show because you add that on there, and that's another element of it. You add it on with these, and you didn't do it for every match. It seems some people want to do that for every match or do that, and I've struggled with that. What match do I do? Exactly. What match do I do a highlight package for? Do I tell a little background story? Take some big ones, either a big title match or a big feud like this or a big match, and then do a little bit of that highlight right before the match and give a little bit of that backstory, so people can know who are new to the show, or even a reminder, refresher.
Mm-hmm. And so we kind of cool things down a little bit because we have a little backstage argument with Mr. Bloomberg.
Oh man, I love this. This Bloomberg thing is fantastic as well, man.
I know, because he's supposed to be kind of this corporate shill guy, and he wants AOA to be this this less violent aspect. Like he wants to kind of tone down the violence. He wants to tone down like the crazy stipulation stuff. He wants to tone all of that down to like 0, or at least about as low as he can get it.
He wants to make it family friendly. He's secretly working for Disney.
Sort of. and I came up with that plan because, like, okay, we can't avoid the WWE logos and stuff in the game. We can't. So let's make use of those logos. Let's make use of that logo. And I would have did Vince McMahon, but I'm like, no, that's fourth wall breaking. Let's use a custom version. And I have WWE stand for something completely different. World Wrestling Evolution Network.
Such a man. I know we talked about that before you even did it, and you played around with different ways to do that, and it was just, I love the idea before it even got on there, and then when I saw it and I saw you implement it, it's so great. And you can go, we've talked about it, man, you could branch this out in so many different directions. You got so many options with this, and it's great, man.
And I have an easy cutoff point for if the storyline isn't. Yes. If it gets a negative reception or whatever,
you can always.
I can easily just pull the plug on this whole thing, and we go right back normal. We go right back.
Yeah, exactly, because you haven't changed. It doesn't seem to be like permanent changes. Something. It's a struggle, right? And they're there. Their presence, it's there, but can be kind of squashed at any time, like a roach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making.
Now, sorry, you skipped something here for the match. I know you rated the match, but you had, just real quick, if I could ask with the Dave and Monster, you had Dave pick up the victory. Any thoughts on that? Why you had him win, not Monster, or what? Just real quick.
I owe Dave one big time. If you watch season 1, Dave got robbed so many times. And that's someone else's call too. So I owe the creator of that call. I feel like I owed him something. And he even pitched to me the idea of him versus. In fact, it was actually in part because of him that match even happened in the first place. The creator behind him that match happened in the first place. Because he'd been watching the show, and he says, he noticed that, him and that, Monster never technically beat him cleanly. And I'm like, he's right.
He told the story, right. Man. Sometimes the story's told without you even writing it. That's another good part of doing these universe mode. And sometimes you pick things up, and if you're paying attention, right, you pick that up, or somebody else helps you pick it up. And you're like, hey, I could run with this. That's a good point. Right. Boom, and you go with with a match or a different story situation, or something happens in the match that we just flow with. But yeah,
right. And so in this case, Monster, he was. If I feel that first, it kind of closes the book on their rivalry for one. And it kind of gets Monster off the show because after a world title reign like the one he had, if you put him anywhere else, it'll feel weird.
Yes.
Like,
we talked about that off air, and to break even more the fourth wall. Yeah, like
breaking yeah,
just
again,
what do you, oh yeah, no, we're all over that now. This is called. You could rename the podcast of Jane W's World like Jane W breaks the fourth wall. I mean, you could the fifth wall too, the sixth. But no, man, with Monster, you're right, because he was this beast, and he had that title reign, and I mean, what it took to beat him, and just it's kind of hard to see him.
He went through in between that.
It's kind of hard to see him. It's just like seeing to me in real life. Like if you'd had when the Undertaker was in his heyday, you know, he wasn't always vying for that world title, but he was in that main event picture. And sometimes he was even bigger than the world title, especially at the end with the whole streak thing. Like it would be weird to see the Undertaker fighting for the Intercontinental belt, you know, or you know, something like that. So it was. I know he was tag team champion a couple times, but it was always to further a story with him and Kane or him and Big Show or something like that. But no, man, I think it was a great choice in having Dave win, and it made sense. And yeah, I'm curious to see how you move forward with Monster in the future. You know, does he just come back once in a while? Is he this big, you know, like just this? I don't know. I mean, there's things that you can do there, and you know, we don't have to talk about it now, but just you know, it's going to be interesting to see. And I know you're the one that mentioned open that yeah, you don't want to. You know, you want to take him off for a while or something because of that, and it does make sense, you know.
Right, it makes a ton of sense. I think now he's kind of at the point where he has made his, and I've talked to the creator behind him too, my boy True Pain X. I've talked to him about it.
Oh, True Pain.
And shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him, buddy.
He's the reason behind Monster, Forsaken, and Seth Burns, crazy enough.
Wow.
And Noel for the Cabal.
Oh, big time players.
Oh God, yeah. So, and in fact, he even helped get the Cabal on the show in the first place because he had one of his friends. He talked to one of his friends about it, and so he talked to one of his friends. His friend got all. He asked his friend about it. The friend said, "Oh yeah, cool. Can we have him on the show?" He said he would have to ask me. He asked me, and I'm cool with it. So that's how he got the Cabal. So Drew's kind of the reason the Cabal's on the show too. So yeah. Anyways, so I've talked with him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, he understands that. Like, okay, he done a lot already in that first season.
Yeah,
forever going to be etched in like AOA history or canon at this point, just from his performance in that one season. So I think he's kind of at the point where like we can bring him back in for maybe a couple of one-offs or whatever."
Yeah, it'll always be a special big match, and talk about that quote-unquote big match feel. He'll always have that, like what you had here with Dave and him, and he can always have that, and you can always later on, you know, also, you know, have him maybe challenging for the world title, or he could eventually maybe have another small run. But even that, I think that would have to take, and now I'm just giving my creative parts on that, my ideas on it, like later on, with, you know, way down the road, maybe the next season or something like that, you know, he does have maybe a short title reign, who knows, you know, but right. I don't know if that's out of the picture with you having that, but that's the only way that I see him going forward. Like he would have to either be in that world, like get a couple of big wins here and there, like just sporadically, you know, make appearance on one pay-per-view or then another one, and maybe get a couple of victories, and then he has a world title shot, and he doesn't necessarily have to win, but he has a world title shot and something like that, you know.
And we kind of turn him face too a little bit too. I mean, because people actually do like this guy. People actually do kind of like this guy. So we can turn him face too.
Yeah. And maybe alter him too, like you alter with Reaper, you know, alter his attire a little bit, you know, make him come back a little different,
Yeah. Well, that'll be cool. But yeah, he's always gonna be, you know, he's always gonna be around in some shape, form, or fashion going forward. Maybe not in that full-time capacity, but you know, he'll be around.
Yeah.
I don't think he's leaving anytime soon. But,
so you went back to that promo, man. Z-Ice is looking like a pimp in this Jesus Christ, he had that white suit on with that cross, and just he looked like a damn pimp in this show, man. That was fantastic. I'm just looking at it now, and Bloomberg just looks like a big fatter Ted DiBiase type. Like it's a mix between Ted DiBiase and Vince McMahon. Looks like he's had one too many chicken wings, hamburgers. Jeez.
And during that promo, I had the kind of, and the reason we got off topic, and J-Dogg had a question about Dave versus the Monster off the whole thing.
Yeah. Sorry. So we'll back to
back to the promo.
Yeah.
It was a promo between VIS and Mr. Bloomberg, and Mr. Bloomberg is just busting his chops about saying, see, that's the type of stuff we need to be avoiding, and blah, 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 blah. And VIS is kind of getting in on his case, like, bro, what are you talking about? That was excellent. And then like he I kind of shot it a little bit on this one. With what I said was what I had VIS say. He essentially said, where can you go that does it the way we do it? Media team upgrade, like our media stuff is upgraded. Our production value has upgraded. So I want to see, where can you find another show, hint call show, that does it the way we do it? Exactly.
Absolutely, man, and I'll agree with that 100%.
We're one of a kind. This is the one of a kind. I
always tell you,
show.
Man, the best damn CAW universe mode, man.
Because AOA is a one of a kind show.
Absolutely.
Come on, horn, but like, you'll see, like, you're not going to be able to look at my car show and think,
toot it.
Okay, you're not going to be able to look at AOA and think, oh, he's trying to copy so and so.
Nope.
You're not going to be able to look at AOR and think, oh, he's just trying to copy so and so.
Yeah, never. You don't have not even like, oh, well, he has a call, but look, all these guys are kind of like a replica of an Undertaker or Shawn Michaels
or like other popular calls, because they're like really popular, well-known calls in the community. I know you may not know that. But
I don't know. I just watch yours.
Yeah, but like there are other.
I'm
like,
loyal. And I only have so many hours in the day. So
but yeah, there are other pretty popular calls in there. So like people in the call community can't look at my stuff and think, oh, he's just trying to be like so and so. No.
Gotcha. That's the originality, man. That's what you get. Yeah. That's what you got to be. Just everybody, just be yourselves. I've seen that. I've run into some shows where you see people, they're doing the whole Raw and SmackDown. Fine, I get it if you're going to do the same formula, but add something different, and either in commentary or in your stories, and I see a lot of other smaller channels and people that are like just trying to copy and trying to be the next Smurfs or trying to be Dilzinski, and they do the same thing and they even speak the same, or you can tell they're in commentary, they're not really being themselves. Be yourself, be original, Right. Be original. If you suck being yourself. Don't suck being,
try to be somebody else.
Trying to copy someone else. Be yourself. If you suck, then get the hell out of the way, so people can watch my stuff. Some people don't belong on YouTube. I'm sorry, I had to say it.
I mean,
and maybe that's my character, but I mean, you have to be honest. Look, guys, I'm barely 5. I'm 5'9", something like that. Am I gonna go play in the NBA? I'm slow. I'm that. Of course not. I'll play basketball here outside with some other jabronis, and I'll have fun doing that. Some guy, if you don't have it creatively, if you don't have that, just be honest with yourself. Get out of my way.
Give it your best effort.
Absolutely.
Give it your best effort.
Chase your dreams. I'm not saying not to, guys. Chase your dreams.
Right.
Do what you want to do, but be realistic at the same time. We need to have a little bit of that, a little bit of a, what's it called, self-awareness. Self-awareness. I'm not going to go and be an NBA player. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to go join the PGA Tour. I don't play golf. I'm not going to do things like that. I'm not going to be an art I could draw at home, whatever, but I'm not going to go sell my art because it's not good enough. So, just things like that, but just find your niche in life. Find your niche in life by trying all these things. I'm not saying now they're going to come on here, oh, J-Dogg just shitting on us. Don't follow your dreams. No, absolutely not. Follow your dreams, but find your niche within that dream. And you're going to be creative. Maybe YouTube's not your way, or maybe this is not your way. Maybe you got to fine tune it, So just, sorry, I went off topic there, but just a little advice or reality check.
Yeah. So the guys end up saying, okay, well, you got the show from here because he had a family emergency. I just said that to give him an excuse to get out of the way. He had some family business he had to take care of. Everything's going to be okay, though. He's going to be fine. Everything in the family's fine. He'll be all right.
Oh, thank God.
He just stepped out of the way. I just needed him out of the way so what happened can happen. So, next match, co-main event, the Take Action Committee, the team of Austin Wallace and Jason Wells, faces the returning Weapon of Mass Destruction. I say returning because last time we saw them was it was either season premiere or the season 2 premiere or like a couple of episodes after that. They lost to the Twisted Cycle. They got beaten almost half to death by those two, and Twisted Cycle walked out victorious in that one.
And I'm sorry, boss. If I can just one more thing about that segment, that backstage segment with Bloomberg and that before we get to Wallace, because I love Wallace.
Yeah.
But another thing, and maybe another advice or another thing I see from your shows that you do fantastic, and I try to do that as well. Make it make sense, make the show flow well. Look at when you place this, and I don't know if you did it on purpose, but you placed that Bloomberg thing right after the Dave match, so you knew that match was, hey, this is a show-stealing match, this is a brutal match. It made sense right after that to put it, because imagine putting that segment right after the women's match, or even after the 3-on-1 match. You know, it didn't make sense. It wouldn't capture that. And when you did that and put that segment there, it makes a lot of sense. So put your segments, you know, where it makes sense. Sometimes, I mean, and sometimes it won't matter if it's just a regular promo. You could put it anywhere, but something like that, just pay attention to those and that little attention to details, man. I say a lot of times the little things matter, and those little things matter whether we think so or not. People pick up on that, you know, and it was just something I just picked up and I just thought of now when I saw that promo right after it, you know. So there you go, placement. You know?
Yeah, placement's always important, and yeah, that's exactly why I played it, because I knew that match was like 30-something minutes long. I knew people were gonna like it, and I knew that, like, okay, you're gonna need something to kind of calm down a little bit in between those matches. And so, with that being said, Austin Wallace and Jason Wells versus the returning Weapons of Mass Destruction, who were returning after Twisted Cycle and beat them half to death. So there you go. I don't know how I feel about this one.
What's making you question it?
I don't think it was. To say it was a bad match would be a bit of a stretch. To say it was overly good, maybe a bit of a stretch too.
Well, I think for calling it, I mean, you called it the co-main event for being a co-main event. Yeah, I don't think it didn't live up to that bill of a co-main event. If this would have started off the show, and then we talk about placement again,
like given the rest of the card, though, it's like, okay, where could this match have gone? Because if I would have put this match right after the women's match, then people would have left. Let's be real. If I would have put that match, and then if I would have put the women's match and then that match, people probably would have left.
Yeah, I mean, you could. What if you would have put this match to start the show and swap this match with the women's match and have the women's match in this spot, kind of a co-main event, and kind of a buffer between that awesome match between Dave and Monster, and then going into the Elimination Chamber. You could have had that women's match. You're just brainstorming it, Monday morning quarterbacking it, but just, you know, some things so people can see how we think, you know, how we come up with these booking things and move forward. And I don't know what you would have thought there if you would have had the women's match here and have this match start off the show.
I think it would have definitely, you know, popped people. Go, oh, cool, Weapons of Mass Destruction are back. You know, they kind of beat the daylife out of these two, really. But we did see Jason and Austin. They kind of held their own a little bit too.
Yeah, they did.
But this one was kind of a foregone conclusion almost. So
I would say it wasn't as your tag team matches, and I praised your tag team matches because they're always awesome. But we talked about it; they're awesome because they're fast paced, and I trying to take that from you and be like, you know what, I have to make my tag team matches a little bit more fast paced because I go with the old slow WWE style, and it doesn't, I think, come across well on YouTube with WWE 2K that well. You know, even if I'm trying to tell a story there, but you do a good job of doing that, man, of just making the tag team matches just fast paced and that. And this was an ad. You saw some good double team moves and some high flying moves and stuff like that, but it wasn't as fast paced and as action packed as other tag team matches. So that would be my critique of it, I guess.
This one kind of wasn't supposed to be. And I think I probably would have been better off just having Weapons of Mass Destruction just squash these guys here.
Okay, that could have been another. That would have been interesting. That would have been
a better option.
No, I mean, you could have had your laugh too, because you could have had him, you know, Wallace stand on the outside though. They beat him, you know, they beat him up, and then whatever, he makes the tag. Wells makes the tag. Wallace comes in, and then they just kind of, they kind of squash Wallace at the end. Like you could have made it a good like 5 minute back and forth match. They get the upper hand, and then boom, he tags out to Wallace. Wallace comes in, they kind of squash him. So yeah, I mean that could have maybe worked too.
Right,
the squash part, yeah.
Right. So I think honestly, there could have been it probably could have been like a squash as opposed to what it was. And I think for what it was, I think it still went a little bit too long. So,
okay.
Rating for this one, I'll probably give it 1.5. Like I didn't.
1.5.
This wasn't. I don't.
Even worse than the women's match. Not that the women's match was bad, but
I'll say yes. You're right.
Wow.
Because this match, for one, didn't need to go as long as it did.
Okay.
Didn't need to go as long as it did. That part is abundantly clear. Didn't need to go as long as it did. And since it did, it wasn't that entertaining to watch. Because everybody kind of knew, all right, this is the match. I can go take a break and then come back for the Elimination Chamber main event.
Yeah, the Weapons of Mass Destruction. Of course they're going to beat these guys. Like, they're making their big return. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. Okay.
I should have just ended this thing, just done and dusted.
Okay. But I mean, 1.5, I think that is the match itself, as you're saying, the story of what you could have done.
Maybe two at best. Two at best.
The match itself, I would have given it a 2.5.
Okay, fair enough, I guess. I don't know. 2 at best for me. I don't know. Yes, by the way, yes, I am openly critiquing myself to that extent, yes. So,
sometimes we're worse critics. Sometimes we're worse critics, boss. But
I know.
Yeah, like I said, there's nothing wrong with them and critique your work, but then also stay, and you do the good job of that. You stay confident in what you do. You know that you bring good work and you bring good stuff in your commentary and your creativity. So it's not about completely shitting on yourself and getting down in the dumps. It's about critiquing in a positive manner, like they say, constructive criticism, and that's what you should do. Not only allow other people to do it and you learn from other people, like I do with Boss all the time. He critiques some of my stuff and I critique his, and we learn from it, so
yeah. So and upon further reflection, nah, that's a no for me, Chief. We can skip this one.
There you go.
This Elimination Chamber match, though.
Oh, I love before, right here, right after that, you go into it's this segment here where you show like AJ Styles doing kicks and guys training for it. That was awesome. That was the
first time I tried something like that. That was the first time I
Yes.
tried something like that, and I'm like, I think it
It's
worked.
the right time to do it. Yeah,
I think
it did work.
So
When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, nice!" And then you get to the nice graphic where you have, Darren holding the belt and everybody there, and it's just, it looks awesome. Looking at it right now.
yeah. So that was cool. That was cool. I'm like, all right, cool. So it's go time. It's business time. Let's get it. And so for my first Elimination Chamber match, because fun fact, this is the first time I have ever done an Elimination Chamber match in this series ever. Very first one.
Wow.
And the participants were Andrew Lance, the world champion Darren, of course, James Black, Mac Wolf, AJ Styles, and A2J. Now, it was originally going to be Aleister Black in Andrew Lance's position, but I had Lance kind of take his spot.
I thought it was the right choice.
I thought it was the right choice, too. For, story purposes, and it opens the door for me to tell a little bit more of a story in that match. Because everybody in there has history in some sort of way. Because Max and James, they still have their ongoing rivalry, which is not over yet. It's about to get crazy from there. Darren and Lance from Armageddon.
Start off the match, man.
Yep. A2.
That's awesome. I love that. How did you decide that they started the match just to follow up from Armageddon? You thought it made sense. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It made so much sense for them to start off the match, and they had Darren in there from the begining too. Okay, here you go. You're getting screwed even more. You're the first participant. So
right. So and then I think the order was Lance and Darren, then it was Black, then Max, then I think either A2J or AJ went next, and some combination of that. I can't remember the last two, but I know Black was next, and then it was Max, and then the other two. For the first Elimination Chamber, I didn't think it was bad. I thought this was a success. It went well. They got out there. They used the steel. They used the cage. It got crazy. This went how an AOA Elimination Chamber match would go, typically.
It was, no pun intended, it was all out action. And that's what I thought of when I saw him. Like, this is all out action. This is just, it was nonstop. And it was, of course, an Elimination Chamber is going to be like that. Did you have any reservations? Did you have anything like, oh, how am I going to work this Elimination Chamber match? I've never done it before. What was your strategy going into it, creatively? Because we know we always, we control both guys or three guys in a triple threat or that. How'd you navigate those waters here in the Elimination Chamber match?
That was hard at first. So here's what I did. I knew who I wanted to keep safe. I knew who I wanted my final two to be, and I knew who I kind of wanted to keep safe in this thing, sort of. So I wanted to keep Darren safe because I needed him for the final. And there was a couple of things that I did that were a little interesting. Like you'll see when Black comes out, him and Lance start teaming up on Darren.
Nice.
Two heels.
And you did that? You pulled that off yourself? You like?
Yep, I had three remote.
How many guys were you controlling at a time in this match?
At most two.
Okay.
And the two who I was controlling kind of varied on what was going on at the time. So,
did you do it all in one shot, one take?
Boy, when I tell you that, I had to do several takes to get this match right.
Okay, gotcha.
Like
I figured I was gonna say if you did this in one, I'm gonna be like, dude, just play all my damn matches from now on, and I'll just commentate and I'll pay you for it.
Several attempts to get this right, because wrong guy. Because to me, I felt like some guys were getting eliminated, but they were getting eliminated in like completely whack fashion. I think I had one take where somebody got eliminated, be like an abdominal stretch. Like, bro, get out of here with that.
God, I hate that.
No. So it was.
I hate that.
Like guys were getting eliminated by like whack attempts and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that's what you gotta do. I mean, when we do what we do, where we edit our shows, you have to sometimes play the matches over and over and over and over again, and then you get something that makes sense, and that's. Yeah.
I think the match worked. I think everybody looked good. I think A2J went nuts and jumped from the pod at one point. I think two people got speared through the pod.
Somebody. Yep, Darren right here. I'm looking at it. He just speared him right through the damn thing. Yeah. And by the way, AJ Styles was the last guy to come in.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, AJ was he was hitting style clashes like it was crazy. It was nothing, though.
I just saw that he came in and just hit some styles clash. Like, what?
Like, this dude was wild. I think that was one sick reversal in there that I remember. I think I didn't control that. I had no control over that. But I think Black was going to go hit somebody. Then AJ stepped in the way and caught him with a style clash. Like, this dude was wild in this match with that move. That dude was just straight wilding.
Yeah, so you had that. You had two, like, almost back to back. Like, they speared him through the pod, through the pod. You had the spot off the top of the pod as well. So you had those things in there. The element that used the whole cage. It just didn't stay in the ring.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I used the steel elimination chamber instead of the regular one.
Oh, thank God.
So.
Yeah, so much better. So much better.
Yeah. I used to
Screw you, WWE, for changing that. But I understand, the safety of your participants. But,
It's a game,
like they say, it's wrestling. It's not ballet, like JR would say. It's not ballet. So
right, and I can get away with doing that, doing the steel stuff, because there was like some nasty spots on there, like there was like, I think Darren called him like a half and half suplex, but he dumped him right in the back of his head.
Yeah,
like it was crazy. That match was just nuts, man. That match was just out of control. Like goodness. So. That happened. But I think the final.
And you could leave that in there.
I just started, so whatever.
Then they're killing each other. I told them to go down, and they're actually learning how to do the laundry themselves. They're 13 and 12 now, so we started teaching them how to fold clothes. So I told them to get down there and finish doing it before their mother got home, so she could be pleasantly surprised.
Cool, good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway,
I do fathering tips too on the side for anybody, but I charge for that. It's not free like the best damn universe smoke.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I started recording like mid-sentence, so we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And I was saying the final two for that match were James Black and Darren, and I inadvertently came up with a cool story without meaning to do so. Because
those are so great when that happens.
yes, because the finish was Black. He was throwing Darren off the rope, and then when Darren were coming back, he was gonna like knee him in the ribs. The ref walked in the way, so he got kneed. The ref got kneed in the ribs, unfortunately, and then he hit the blackout, and then tried to go for the
Yep,
one, two, three,
four. I'm counting it now. 5, 6. So, wow, he had him for at least a 7 count.
Yeah. Yep. And so then the match ended.
Oh man, he kicked the ref right in the face. He went to get him up and like mother, boom, just kicked him in the face and then punched him to wake him up. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I forgot that spot. I forgot that part there.
Mm-hmm. Now you're about to see momentarily how the match actually ended.
Yeah. Yeah, we made him submit with that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big submission for Darren. That was a great spot to finish, man. That was fantastic.
Yep. And because the thing isn't good because that same thing also happened to Black during his South of the Border brawl.
South of the Border, yeah.
That was a pretty. Honestly, I thought that match was pretty good. That was a success to me in my book. I thought that was a good match, honestly. What did you think of it? I mean, it
was great, man. Like I said, it was unique. It was the South of the Border. I know we talked about that before, right? And we're like, hey, why don't we use why don't you use that arena, the South of the Border? It's like, hey, this is a fight, too brutal to be held in the States or this and that. And it was like...
Yeah, so I just said, screw it, let's just have AOA emanate from Mexico. And we up and did that.
It was good, but it's still a build-up for more, like you made people want more. Okay, I want to see more of these guys. What else could they do? So
yeah, I got something in mind there. So Darren wins, Darren retains, surviving all 5 guys, and bloody mess and everything.
Bloody mess.
And I kind of finished with the line of like, bro, this dude is just too good. I said something along the line, this dude is just too good. Hate him if you want, this dude is just too good. And so,
did you say that right at the end after the replay, or?
Yeah, something along that.
Yeah, play it right here. Let's see what you say.
The world title of Black only got himself to blame. What a performance. What a matchup for Darren. Congratulations, my guy. Dang, that sucked. A rough way to go. This dude's just too good, though.
There you go.
Congratulations.
This dude's just too good.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So what's actually about to play next is how we kind of close the show. Mr. Bloomberg essentially says, listen, congrats on your win and all that stuff, but since you've retained and since we already have a number 1 contender, let's have our number 1 contenders match right now. So Dave came out, took advantage of everything, and won the world title. That was an official match.
The size of Dave, I'm just watching that too. The size of Dave compared to Darren is just, I mean,
yeah.
But even then, boss, if I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know the behind the scenes stuff, and I'm watching and I'm like, you know what? Darren has just been such an animal, and the way that he won the damn title, he survived 2 brutal matches and beat Monster. I'm like, you know what? He maybe he escapes out of here with the world title. So it wasn't, there was still some element of unpredictability there. Is Dave really going to do this thing?
Right? Yeah, I get it. But Dave just destroyed this man.
Yeah,
it was a wrap. That was a wrap.
He did. This reminded me a lot. This is that. When Edge won the first world title, right, where he did it after the Elimination Chamber, they came in and cashed in his money in the bank against John Cena kind of thing,
Yeah.
Which this is a different agenda because this wasn't, just him cashing. It was like Bloomberg had his agenda behind this, so.
Yeah. And so there's going to be a catch to all of this. There's going to be a catch 22 to all of this, so I'm not going to spoil that, but... Nah, I'm not gonna spoil too much of that. But
no, don't let it come. But this was just it was cool how you did that, man. It was, look, if you would have ended it just with the Elimination Chamber match and Darren winning, it would have been a success of a show. It would have been a success because you had that Elimination Chamber match, which was great. First Elimination Chamber you had, and I thought it was fantastic. And then you had that beast of a match, number one contenders match, and then it all, But this extra element at the end, like tied that together, and like you said, gives you now the ability to do the Catch-22 or do the, your continued story from here. So again, your great storytelling at the end. But I'm just saying it could have been great even without it. So with that happening at the end, just made it that much more of a special feel to that show. Like people won't forget that. People follow your show, but Conquer All. That's when that happened. That was first Elimination Chamber, and that's when that happened after the Elimination Chamber. And we saw that great match with Dave and a Monster. So.
Right.
That's my impressions from the show. Like, just if I could take anything back from it, it'll be that. And it doesn't matter that quote unquote co-main event wasn't as good as you thought it was, or the women's match we thought it was. Just that just stood out. And some pay-per-views, you just have that you can't have all 5-star matches. And I made the mistake of that. I try to have let me make every match be fantastic. No, you can, make it entertaining. Try to make everything entertaining, but not every match has to be 5-star. And as long as you tell a great story and you have a good main event and stuff like that, you'll still be a successful show.
Yeah, and me personally, I've had matches that I thought were just okay. Turned out to be one of the best ones of, like, people were like, that was amazing, that was match of the night. Like fun fact, that's exactly what I thought about Johnny Rivers and A2J whenever they went one-on-one for the very first time at Next Level. I thought the match was okay. But then once people actually watched the match and everything, they were like, dude, that was match of the night.
Yeah, I went back and I saw it too when you told me, and it was...
that was a clinic. That was match of the night, for real. Like, bar none. And I watched it back and I'm like, okay, I can see why people say that now. And then their onslaught match topped everything. I still haven't had a match that came close to that yet. Like, bro.
Hold on, somebody's knocking. Don't put up. Hold on. We'll keep this on here. Hold on.
Fair enough, but I was saying I still haven't had a match that top.
What the hell is that?
That match since then, if that makes sense. So yeah, like they always say, you don't have to make everything, this whole 5-star thing. But I think Conquer All was a success. It was a big time success of a show. If I were to rate it, I would probably give it maybe 7.5, 8 out of 10. It was good stuff. It was good stuff. I personally really enjoyed the show. Enjoyed putting the show together. A couple of things I had my gripes with, but I think overall it worked. Perfect time.
So I'm sorry, I missed that part though. You said you were happy with this show. What did you think of it overall?
I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Okay. I think I would give that show about 7.5 out of 10. 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Conquer All. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, to me, it was a show with, like I said, two big matches and 2 matches as standalone that make a pay-per-view by itself, and just those 2 matches. But those 2 matches alone, I think if those 2 matches alone and what happened at the end, I could even say that it could jump up to an 8. Yeah. But yeah, I would be around there between a 7 to 8. Will be good to rate the pay-per-view. Yeah.
Yep. So
I agree with that.
Yeah, and if we switch over to the AOR side with Last Stand, you're more familiar with this one because you called the Blaster Show with me.
AOR. Well, actually, now that we went back and you reminded me, like I a lot of it clicked in actually for Conquer All. I did remember that. So that last spot, I remember the referee getting knocked out, but it was just so funny how I did not remember that, and I saw that he just went over instead of like waking him up or he kicked him. He kicks the man. He kicks the referee, and then when he gets up, he punches him in the face. I love those little parts, those little humor parts. Just fantastic.
Yeah. Last Stand.
And the show. Sorry, the show was about 2 hours and 9 minutes. Conquer All, 2 hours and 9 minutes. And for having an elimination chamber match and that 30-minute match, like I said, between monsters, I mean that's a good time for a pay-per-view, man. That was good stuff. If you would have had that tag team match, like you said, be a squash, this show would have been under 2 hours.
This would have been about the length of a regular episode, possibly.
That's crazy. Is it because you didn't have a lot of matches because you knew that chamber match was going to take a while?
No, I still had 6 matches, if you notice.
That's true. That is true.
I just didn't have all of them go too long. Yeah. I think every match went about the amount of time. Well, the elimination chamber. Elimination Chamber aside, and the more contender match with a decent amount of time for what it was for. So I'm like, all right, cool.
And you've been getting that good, man. I mean, sometimes look. I mean, I know Cole pulls off his marathons, and God bless him. I don't know how he does it.
8-hour Royal Rumble, good.
I don't know how he does it. Cole, you're listening to, man. Like, you pull it off like a beast. I don't know how you do it, but besides Cole, who is an exception, I guess. Is that you?
Ignore that, yeah.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, besides him, and I think, like, yeah, pay-per-views and that, I mean, I don't... 2.5 hours, like 3 hours is already starting to push it unless it's a WrestleMania or Royal Rumble type of thing. And look, you did a great job of that, Conquer All. And now I'm looking at Last Stand, which we're going to talk about, and that one is 2 hours and 13 minutes, so pretty much around the same time. Mm-hmm. You know, you've kept those to 2 hours. I mean, I feel like I have to do maybe a little bit better at that, but I've been trying to keep them at 2.5. I think I'm fine, you know. I think some of them mind if they go over the 3 hours, and that was my whole thing with my Money in the Bank, that I think that Rock match went on for too long, and it went into the 3 hour spot. But I think 2.5 hours, man, for a YouTube pay-per-view like that is good enough, you know. Right.
So let's get into Last Stand. J-Dogg will win me for this. You probably remember a lot more about this show.
I don't remember what I did 5 minutes ago.
Fair enough. I think it emanated from either Austin or Dallas, Texas, or something like that, isn't it? Or
it was from.
Where did it emanate from? Oh, yeah, pull it up.
Indianapolis, Indiana, actually.
Okay,
the Hoosier State. Yeah, there you go.
It emanated from Indianapolis.
You were way off.
Or breathe, yes, I know it was. Oh, I was thinking about the one from last year.
Oh,
the one from season 1 emanated from Austin or Dallas, Texas. So, yeah, but season 2, Last Stand, emanated from Indianapolis. So, why? Because I don't know. Why not? I don't think we know the real reason behind the logic behind these things. We just pick one with.
No, sometimes, you know what, I don't even pick. Sometimes I just I do pick when it's pay-per-views. I kind of pick because if it's a theme or something like that, like I'll pick where I want it from. But some of my regular episodes, we're here and I'm like, why are we in this damn town? And then I just run with it because it's fun to just shit on the town. So I just kind of run with it, you know, in my show and in your show.
I sometimes pick. I pick mine. Because I don't know. I like it. I like that feel. I don't know why I do. But I like it. But anyway, this one was emanating from Indianapolis, Indiana. This one built throughout the night, to say the least, as far as the stuff that went on during the show. Because it kicked off with a steel cage match between...
That was a little weird.
Okay.
But it made sense. It was just... usually when you see a cage match, it's like something, you know, that's been built for a long time. I mean, but this did have some build, so let me not say that. It had some build, but... I don't know. You build a cage match, you know, after having a one-off, and then you have another one, and then you have that cage match kind of settle a feud. So it was very impromptu, but it worked. It worked. You made it work at the end of the day, and it was not. It was what it was, you know. Well, go ahead. I'll let you talk about the match, and then.
Okay. It was Haley Victor versus Sassy Vega, because this was originally supposed to be a tag match. Haley and Gloria versus Sassy and Candy, but Sassy took out Gloria. Asses. Yep. But Candy took out Gloria before the show started, and that was released as a separate video, literally about 30 minutes before the actual show was released.
Yeah.
So the impromptu cage match was to make sure Candy doesn't get involved and all this other stuff. So
it made sense. I just said it's a little weird in that way, but it absolutely made sense, and you played it well during the match. Yes,
and Haley beat her to death.
Oh, that was fantastic. And you don't see that. Maybe that's what made it weird for me too, because you don't see that in a cage match a lot. Like, cage matches are most of the time a good back and forth match, right? And they're a little longer, and they do that. So this is just like, hey, put the cage up to keep these women out. Let me get this woman one-on-one and just beat the hell out of her. And
she did. And she did.
I'll give you props for that creativity, man. That was good. I didn't expect that.
And Sassy got busted open during that match. Now, you're probably thinking, how in the world did that happen when we can't bleed in 2K games?
Shh, don't give your secret. Don't give your secret. It's magic.
Let me say this. There is a benefit to doing a call show, because you can do stuff that you couldn't get away with if you're doing regular superstars. That's all I'm going to say. Magic of editing, ladies and gentlemen.
Good stuff, man. I like it.
So, I think I busted open pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And Haley ended up winning the match, making her submit. Do triangle choke. And that was it. That was a wrap.
That's it. Yeah, that was
a wrap.
She tried to escape. There was a
it.
spot here. Look at there was a spot here. She was trying to escape. Go back to Candyland, but nope. She was brought back in and then beating the hell out of. So yeah.
So that didn't really work there. That didn't really work there. Overall, I was entertained by this. I felt it was entertaining. So I'll give it 3 for like entertainment purposes.
I like that part how she kept climbing. If I'm correct, like Haley never tried to climb at all, right?
No. Only time she climbed would go after her
to get her. That makes so sense. That again, little attention to details, man. That part there, get in the cage. You know, the one person trying to climb. She's trying to climb out because you cannot compete with her one-on-one. So she's trying to climb out and win this match out there. Just escape, let's say, not even win. Just escape this match and not get a beat down. And the other competitor, Haley Victor, does not go up and only to bring her back. So that little attention to detail is just awesome.
So Haley kicked the daylight out of her, and she ended up winning the match. So 3 stars, because I was just purely entertained by this one. This one was, and it didn't go long. It went about, 10 minutes? About that?
Let me see.
About 10 minutes or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, minus the intro, maybe a little less than 10 minutes. Yeah, because I'm 10 minutes in the show now, and then the next match is coming out already. The entrance. I'll let you go ahead with that.
Perfect segue. Tag team title match: the Family versus the Cabal. Family with a whole new look Alex anyway had a whole new look for this one. Brandon's still in the same getup from day one. And the Cabal, who were the tag team champion, going into this thing after their incredible probably match of if that match took place during season 2, that would have been a match of the season contender. I'm just saying.
Them and the Millennium Riders, right? With the
ladder match at Live On. If that happened during season 2, that would have been match of the season contender right there.
So good, man. So good.
But we had one on this show. So jealous of you
with these tag matches.
But we had one on this show, and we're going to get to that.
Yes.
So they beat the daylight out of each other. This one wasn't as fast-paced as the other one. This one was kind of more of a story-based approach. I don't know if you got that same vibe watching this one.
I did. I had that calling it as well, and it's just that I was about to say that for your talk. I was about to say that this just with the family, you do such a good job, and I don't know, is it just the commentary or what else is it? But you do a good job of that with your Universe Mode, like just making us emotionally invested in these characters. Like you either hate Wallace, going back to him, or you love him. You love that cockiness. You love that, and you want to see him get what he deserves. Like when he was dressed up as a damn horse, and you just completely just embarrassed the man, Or when he wins, and you're like, and I'm sticking it to you, and I'm like, yeah, boss, and the family is, again, you're emotionally invested in the family because they're just a couple of losers, and they're trying to get better, and then now you have the dynamic of the dad and the son, and the son's trying to, kind of like, be his own man and get his own attire, like, hey, we got to win, and is it just the commentary? Is it something else? I mean, is it mostly just a kind of, am I overthinking? Is it just a commentary where you build that up and you make us emotionally care about these characters?
I think it's commentary. I think I said before. I said it when I was giving my advice video on commentary, bro. The audience will go emotionally where you lead them. And so I let y'all, and you help me because you've been on AOR since day one, since episode 1, literally. No problem. But like you've helped me with this. I mean, the family has been portrayed and put on commentary as other jokes. Hence why whenever he hit there was a spot where Brandon, I usually don't do comedy spots, but come to think about it, this spot was actually kind of funny. When Brandon finally hit the clothesline, because after missing it like 2 times in a row or something like that, you might have just lost it on commentary. Like, yes, he finally hit the clothesline. It's a miracle. Yeah, we popped when he finally hit the clothesline. And then he tried to go for the accent off the middle rope and missed. It's like, well, we tried. I mean, hey, we were doing something right at least.
Yeah.
And then we talked about how the Cabal could have ended that thing a while ago, but they were just toying with him and whatever. They could have wrapped that thing up a while ago, but they did.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it is, and it has to be on commentary because unlike like in quote unquote real life, WWE. Like, it's the commentary does tell that story, but the guys in the ring, you see the facial expressions, the promo, things like that give a sense of that story and makes you care for the characters. But here, if we're just watching this match and our commentary is just, well, here we go, he hit him again with the DDT, and oh, look, he has the upper hand now. If we're like that, you're not going to care about the character. No. So I do think that it's 100% the fucking commentary, probably. I'm sorry for dropping the F-bomb, but yeah. I got a potty mouth.
Yeah, clearly. Anyway, so
hey, I watch it with you, man. I try to keep that down.
Yeah. So it was that.
You're gonna censor me again?
Nah, you're cool. So it was a combination of that and Alec was the main one getting the offense in when Brandon was just getting destroyed for the most part.
Yes.
Brandon got a little bit of offense in, but not a lot. And then the family ended up winning the tag titles in a
unbelievable
finish. I thought the finish was going to be a little bit more epic than what it was. I don't know what it was. Maybe I should have assigned them a tag finisher to hit or something because I didn't give them one. So maybe I should have gave them something like that.
I mean, again, that's again you being, us being our worst critics, but I think it still did the job. We're like, holy crap! Like, these guys actually won the damn tag team. Like, I can't. That was the story. Just like, I can't believe it, man. And going back to the book, I think I said 100% commentary. I think part of it is, most of it's a commentary, but part of it is the booking of the matches too. Because if you comment and you lead somebody through the emotion, but you're not telling that story. Like, if this match, the Cabal wasn't just beating the crap out of them the whole time, and that, like, if they just came out there and they dominated, it wouldn't tell the story. If the family would have came out and looked super strong, it wouldn't tell that story. You wouldn't feel the exactly. You wouldn't feel the emotion. Exactly. You wouldn't feel that. You'd be confused. You'd be like, wait a minute, what the hell just happened? They're burying them. They're losers, but they came out and destroyed the Cabal. Like, so again, that I guess is so. Maybe 90% or 75% commentary, other 25 you got to book the stuff correctly, or maybe it's 50-50. Who knows?
Right. So there was that too. So the Cabal wins, or no, the family wins.
The family wins, unbelievable.
And J-Dogg and I were just losing on commentary. I didn't think it was a bad match either. I didn't think it was a bad match. No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a bad match. It was fast paced. It was it told a story.
3 1/4. I rated the steel cage match. That was 3, and this one I'll do 3 1/4. Not bad.
Okay.
And then what happened after this one? Brandon and Alex, they're in the ring. They're just chit chatting. And it's like, I told y'all we did it. Blah blah blah. Or Alec was like, see, we did it, we're winners, blah, 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 blah. I told y'all, whatever. And Brandon's like, yeah, we did do it. And you know what? And since we did do this thing, we have to now defend our turf now. It's like, yeah, we do have to defend our turf. We'll take on any and all challenger. And then Brandon's like, yeah, we'll do that right now. It's like, wait, what? And before Alec could even process what was going on, you hear Wolfpack music hit, and they come out. And the tag title match is on the line right there, and Wolfpack just owned them.
Just so it told the story because it's so stupid how this man just opens his mouth and like, dude, instead of going back and celebrating, be like, you see, we're not jokes, great. Enjoy the moment, go back. Right. And these guys, he just opened his damn mouth and
right.
Like, if you're again taking a roller coaster ride, like, oh, these guys are a joke, oh my god, they won, I can't believe it, and you're like, oh wow,
and then Brandon opened his mouth.
They're a joke again. Like, even in a winning effort, you're a tag team champions, and you're a joke because you put yourself in this spot again, and boom, they lose the tag team championships. It's just
and here's the thing: that match wasn't back and forth. Wolfpack just outclassed these guys on every level, and they specifically they outclassed Brandon because Brandon I don't even think got the chance to make the tag. So Brandon was the one that made the challenge, started off the match, got completely outclassed and lost. In around about maybe 3 to 5 minutes.
Just great, man. Just
so Wolfpack is the first tag team to hold AOR and AOA tag team championship. Thus, they are now 4-time tag team champion. Or 1, 2. Hold on a sec. 1 the tournament, 1, 2 at Onslaught, 3 when they beat Weapon of Match. Yep, 4-time. 4-time. They are 4-time tag team champion right now. So yeah, 3-time AOA, 1-time AOR, so 4-time tag team champion. And so they leave. And then in that moment, Alex is like, all right, I'm killing this man.
Yeah, he's done. He just destroys his father, man.
He beat the daylight out of this guy for that. But in this case, you kind of can't really blame.
I'm not showing this to my kids so they don't have any, so they don't get any ideas. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not trying to whoop mine.
Yeah.
But man, this at the end, I mean, he brings in that steel step inside the ring. He just, I mean, he even you know, I give my classic line of like, hey, you know, this was, yeah, he deserves it. He's an idiot.
No, we agreed. No, we both agreed on that one.
Yeah, we did. We agreed that he deserved that he was an idiot, but then it was so good because then we got to the words at the end. We're like, okay, but he's taking a little too far. You know, like,
little bit.
This is his father, and he's going, you know.
I didn't have him go complete. I didn't have Alan go completely crazy on that because, you know, I want to kind of keep the door open a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't get too wild with this one. But
well, to me, it was a little. It wasn't as okay. It's wild, I guess, to the expectations of AOR and AOA, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, the man, he hit his dad with freaking steel steps.
Yes, he did.
Like, I mean, you know, that's when I said, wow, like this is, you know, maybe taking it a little.
And he caught him like right in the face
far.
with him too. I think he caught him like right in the face with him too.
He did, and it's like, okay, and they DDT'd him almost on top of it, and it's just, it got. Like, I mean, being that it's his father was ugly, and you know.
Yeah. But then it's like now this is now puts the viewer in an interesting situation. So now you can kind of pick a side here. You can either side when Brandon said, "What he was just so caught up in the moment. It happened." Blah 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 blah. Or you can be on the side of Alex of, okay, about time. This dude's an idiot.
Yeah. This was just so fantastic. But like the whole. Think of the match, and again, something doesn't have to be a 5-star classic. It was a good tag team match. You know, the original one, the Cabal and them, was a good tag team match. And like you said, you gave it like 3.5. You said about 3.5 stars.
The original match, yeah. For that one,
okay, yeah, I would agree about 3.5. So solid, good match. And then you had but it's just the whole thing in general, from the start to the whole end, where he beats up his dad, is just. If anybody wants to see, hey, how do I tell a story using WWE 2K? How do I tell a story in a match that does all these things? You know, gets a belt off of these guys, puts it on these other guys, which that could tell a story in the future. You know, splits a team up that has been like teasing for a while. These guys having a little bit of tension and being a joke. It was just so. This was maybe some of your best, since I've been in AOR, some of your best storytelling in AOR, because it was just. Fantastic the way it was from the beginning. These guys enter the ring as a joke. We're laughing at him. Boom, serious business. The match is being good. Wow, these guys are in it. They keep coming. That's that emotional roller coaster.
They won two matches and a back-to-back and a gauntlet match one time.
Yeah. So then they win, but we're still playing them off as a joke. Well, they got the win, and you kept telling me, well, but they got these wins. Yeah, but they're still a joke. Blah blah blah. And then they went into that. You know, they win the match. So you're like, and they're not a joke anymore. They're crowned.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, oh my God, they're joking again. This guy opened his mouth, just cost him the tag team championships.
And if you remember, the way that match came about in the first place was because Taskmaster, the manager of the Cabal, basically just challenged them. It was like, we need a warm up real quick after the Millennium
they just wanted
Rider.
a quick, exactly. So even going back then, you set that up. But just in this night alone, that match, that whole. They call it the match, a whole situation, because it was it was two matches, and then a beatdown at the end when he beat up, you know, his father. So it's like, wow, if you're invested in that, and you're invested in AOR, and you look at that, it's just that roller coaster of emotion. That's just like, I mean, that's gold, man. That's just gold.
And the good ebb and flow stuff, and of course we'll see where that leads to.
So good.
that was some golden stuff there. But wasn't there? I need to pull the show myself so I can kind of write my own. Remember, wasn't there a segment or something after that? Because I know I did something after that.
Oh, after that was then JB in the back. With a promo.
Yeah, he was He was telling Big Mac to go home.
Yeah, to go exactly.
He told Big Mac to go home.
Which was great too, man. More good storytelling there. You know, he's always felt, hey, I have this chip on my shoulder. I proved it over there, but tonight, you know, I need to continue proving it by myself, being the champ. You know.
Right. And he told Big Mac to go home. Like, bro, I ain't trying to be here for this. Like, no, dude, it's not tonight. Go home. And so he blocked and went home. So we kind of got to deal more serious side of JB. And then we also had a segment with Austin Kazarian and Caden Miles, in which Kazarian was... Okay, sorry, I got an email. Anyways, so it was this whole thing of Austin Kazarian and Caden Miles, and Austin Kazarian saying that, oh yeah, this is gonna be this huge return for me, and blah 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 blah. Since last time we saw him, period, in the series, in a match was the Ultimate Mission Battle Royal. That was the last time we saw him in a match. And so now he got a new alliance with Caden Miles, and he's trying to mentor him and trying to this whole buck the system thing, you know what I mean? And so this is his first pay-per-view match, and I even brought up the match from season 1. I think Caden Miles references it to and be like, yeah, last season you took it to Brock Lesnar of all people. And I actually uploaded that match at the AOA Classic, so there you go.
And there you go, more good storytelling even before, and this was the placement of it again, right before their match. And it doesn't always be right before, it doesn't have to be right before their match, but right before that you tell that story before Kazarian gets in there with Evan West, which is our next match.
This one wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It got the job done, I think.
Yeah, it was a solid, I would give 3, maybe even 3.5.
I think 3. I think 3.25.
It's that after Evans had that 5-star, that 5, that series and the matches that they had early on, especially in that series, are just like so fantastic. I mean, it's so hard to replicate some of that again, but it was still it was still a good match here that we had.
Yeah, that was a good solid match here. A little bit of storytelling here with Caden getting involved and everything, and he ended up like attacking Evan when the ref got knocked down, and then Kazarian used the chair for the finish and all that stuff. So we'll build from there.
Yeah, more good. Again, more good. All the 3 first matches I hear was just good storytelling. Some good ring action. Not 5-star classics, but some good storytelling, and it paces itself, kind of builds the show up little by little.
Now, this is where the show gets flipped on its head, almost. Fall County Chloe versus Ashley.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, this match didn't get to the ring hardly, and it didn't stay there at all. They fall all over the place.
Well, it made sense. It was a false count anywhere. The only thing, I honestly thought that you were going to go longer with this match. That surprised me a little bit. I don't know why I felt it. I don't know how long the match was. Looking at it now, I can maybe see, but I don't know how long the match was, but it didn't feel very long for me at all.
No, it didn't. I don't think it was. I don't think the match was that long. It really wasn't. It was for another chapter in their feud. I thought it was good. For their feud, I thought it was a good match. Because they've had history before.
Yeah.
Ashley being the first women's champion and everything, and then throwing Carmen in the mix. With the Chloe ended up winning the title, right? All that. And then throwing Carmen in the mix, and then what happened at Live... You doing your thing at Live On?
I don't know. I know that started, me and the Chloe thing started, I believe, from the first episode I ever called from AOR, but I have no idea. That was not planned. I have no idea how that, I was just being, the Jerry the King Lawler horn dog on commentary kind of thing, where I'm like, oh, this woman is that, but I don't know why it was just with Chloe. And here's a real life fact to me, like I have nothing against redheads. There's some very beautiful redheads, but never been my style, never been my, so it's weird that that I picked Chloe and I stayed on this game, because redheads are not my thing, and it was just weird. And so I have no idea how it started, but we went on it, and you allowed me to just get the humor part of that. And I think for that main event that we did in our first pay-per-view there at AOR,
when it was hurting. When I tell you my ribs were hurting from this,
I don't know how I pulled that up, because I wanted to laugh so many times, but I was just caught up in character, caught up in the thing where I'm just literally like felt sad and sick to my stomach because this damn bitch like just betrayed her, and we had this plan supposedly, and you're telling me like, you know, just man the hell up, like, you know, stop crying. And it was just, I mean, that we had so much fun calling that thing that, you know what, I expected maybe a little bit more of that from us in this match, but this match I felt like we took it a little bit more seriously.
Right.
And I was still, there was somewhere, you know, I had that concern at the end when she got, you know, thrown off the damn top of the thing. But
no, she didn't get thrown off of it. Ashley jumped from it and landed on
right. That's right. That she connected. That told the story because she had missed and cost her the title in the main event against Carmen, and now she was like, oh, she hit it, you know, and
she hit it and beat her rival.
She hit it off the top. Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, oh my god, is she going to be okay? But besides that, I think we were a little more. But it's just hard to capture that because what we captured in that main event was just magic. How we're just, you know, you were losing your shit. You're just like. I didn't laugh.
I want to tell y'all this now. The laughter and stuff that y'all, I've had people ask me, do you and him, do y'all plan this stuff out? No.
Never.
We don't.
Never. Not the laughing part, you know. We hardly ever plan anything on commentary. We might be like, hey, you know, this is the way that we want to go with this match, or we want to tell a certain story, but that's all we say. That's about it.
Said, as far as exactly what's said, no, that's all. We go completely off cuff as far as that goes.
It's just, and sometimes I go too far where I have to be censored, which I have been by you, which I don't appreciate, and or you come back after the show like, you know what, I enjoyed the humor, but you know, just kind of tone it down here and there. Not too much. You're fair with me. You let me do my thing, but you're like, you know, maybe focus on the match here a little more at certain times, and I'm like, you know, fair enough. And I've learned a lot from you in that way to kind of like, you know, have that balance a little more.
So when you hear her laughing at something on commentary, I can promise you we didn't plan it at all. That's natural stuff. But as far as this match, it was a good brawl.
Yeah.
Good spot.
It was.
The power bomb on the fire extinguisher. Ouch. There were some spots that looked like brutal, like the power bomb on the fire. No, it wasn't no, it was a Spanish fly.
It was a Spanish fly on top of the that was so brutal. So brutal. And then she did the car spots. Ashley slammed her all over the damn car.
Yeah.
Got Chloe's trying to run her over with one of those boxes, one of those
the crate
equipment boxes. She's trying to run her over with that and just throw it at her. Look at that. Oh man, it's just it was a brutal match. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, and I like the story at the end with Ashley hitting that when she missed that off the top, so she hit her there, you know. Boom, Chloe's out. Kind of, it was good. And Ashley, I think story wise, I mean, of course, my character wanted Chloe to win, but story wise, it made sense for Ashley to win. And I think we went back and forth as when you were booking it, and we talked about it, and you didn't really, you know. I could be wrong if I don't remember this correctly, but you were like, oh, you know, should I have Chloe win? Should I have Ashley win? And,
I was actually unsure.
You know,
I was legit unsure about that, yeah.
Okay. And you know, and I even told her, I was like, look, character-wise, of course I'm going to be going for Chloe, but if we're booking this, I'm like, it makes sense for Ashley to win.
Right.
You know, like, I think Ashley needs this victory. Chloe has already cemented herself as a, you know, as top star, and I've been putting her over. I'm like, it's, you know, I think Ashley getting the win here would make sense, and that's what, you know, you eventually went with. And
right.
You know, I was happy with that result, you know.
Right, when we're back again.
But the J-Dogg wasn't, man. I was just sad for my baby.
Yeah. So when we're back to picking up the win here, I'd say about 3 and 3/4 stars for this. It was good. It was really
it was
good
cool.
one.
Yeah, looking at it back now, like I said, it didn't feel as long. I think maybe the match went, looking at it now, 109.56, maybe 15 minutes. It was maybe 15 minutes, maybe a little less, but it was. I guess I wanted more towards the end, but I guess that's a good thing, right? It was a good thing that, damn, I wanted even more. It wasn't in a bad way. It wasn't like, damn, this match sucked. I wish it would have been better. No, it was like, I want more because it was good. So looking back at it, I think I would give it close to 4 stars, you know?
Yeah, because this was a good one. This was a good one.
Yeah.
I can rock with that. That was a good match.
And it's good how it built up to that, man. This show, and we could talk about, we'll talk about that after when we finish the show. We talk about the overall feel of the show. Just, you could go ahead and keep going.
Yep. And so we had a segment with Tony Woods and Taskmaster, that little side story I had going on for a bit. Kind of picking that back up here with Tony Woods and Allied with the Cabal and everything. With the crew allied with the Cabal, the team of Tony Woods and Andre. And so Tony was like, so since y'all lost now, what about our tag title shot that we were gonna get? And then Taskmaster said, bro, I'm a man of my word. We're gonna get the title back, and y'all got your shot. And then Tony said, getting a little bit impatient, he said, okay, you got one more time to kind of play us, and I'm putting you to sleep. And then Time Master told him, no, bro, you ain't got the power to do that. Trust me. So a little bit of tension there. I was building that story up a little bit during the time where the Cabal was feuding with the Millennium Riders. I was teasing that a little bit. So that's gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna try to do something with them and finally get the crew in something worthwhile. About time. Took me a minute, but hey, we're getting there. So.
Well, sometimes you want to build people up, and then there's just enough spots. You got to pick and choose who you build and when to do it, right? And then sometimes you just forget to, or you're like, I've been wanting to build up some guys, and then I'm always like, oh, damn, but I don't have a spot to put them in. I don't have something that makes sense, and
right.
But just keep with it,
Yeah. So as if we kind of got something for the crew to do. We're gonna try to pay this off at some point. So there's that match there. And I guess we got time to talk about one more before I gotta bounce. But we got time to talk about one more match before I gotta bounce. The co-main event, the women's championship match between Carmen and Kimiko. As I talked about in the pay-per-view build podcast, I wish the build for this could have been better. But boy, did this match make up for the lack of build.
Yes. Sometimes they do. We like to build things up because we're storytellers in that way and that. But sometimes, man, the match itself just tells a story. And I think the build-up was just a history of Kimiko, the way that she just takes a beating and keeps on coming, man. And we sold her here. I think I called her like the Rocky Balboa of AOR or something like that. And it was just like she just. I love the Kimiko character, and it was. I thought it was a fantastic match. I give it 4 stars as well, just as the other women's match, if not more. But it was a great match. Kimiko looked tremendous in the match, and Carmen just like a beast like she always is as a champion,
Yeah, I love this one. It was a good stuff. They took some brutal spots on the steps. I think there was that one spot where Kimiko tossed Carmen from the inside to the outside, the back of her head, clipped the steps. I'm like, good.
Yes. It was brutal looking. There were times that I thought I knew the outcome of the match before, but breaking the fourth wall again. But as I was calling it, there were times that I thought Kimiko was going to get the win. That's how I was into the match, and I thought, damn, Kimiko's going to win the title, and it was fantastic, man.
Yeah, because I do swerve him like that sometimes. So
you do.
I swerve.
You do. So you keep me on my toes. I don't know every result, but sometimes since I help, we help each other book, we will know some of the results of the match. But there are times that we switch it up, and we say, oh, I'm going to do this, and then I end up doing something. Oh my God, there she is. When she threw her, I just ran to that spot. She threw her, power bombed her right into the steel steps on the other side. That could have been the spot of the night. That was just fantastic. How it was, man. Oh,
killed her. Love the match. 4 stars, man.
Wow.
Golden work. That's about more I can say. Kimiko time is coming. Just keep watching. Just keep watching as far as that goes.
This AOR, this match, and the Chloe match just show that this AOR women's division is just the best thing that I have seen in any damn show, in any show, man. I'm including Merce, I'm including anybody. Nobody has a women's division like AOR has. It's been fantastic, boss. Great, great job with that, man. Unbelievable.
And they've main evented not because WWE were doing it at the time, but it was just because it legit made sense for them to main event the show.
Absolutely.
So there's that. Then we get a promo package for the main event. Oh, by the way, we were kind of playing up the story of, is RJ even going to show up tonight?
Oh, yes, we did that for the main event, true.
Yeah. And then it was
because of the beating that he got at the last episode before the go home show. Mm-hmm. When that line that he said, "Oh, just like your oh my God," that was it.
I was gonna leave you like your dad left you all those years ago.
That was bad.
I was debating back and forth about that whole line. I really was, but I'm like, no, let's do it anyways.
Yeah, and I said, go with it, man. Just go with it. It made sense. It made the match that much personal. It made it just great. It was about the title, about respect, about personal. And it was all those elements added to this match, and it was just, it was It was the main event, man. Like, you knew, and we talked about it in the show, when we got to this part, you knew this was the main event. Sometimes other matches steal the show. And we had great matches here. We've rated these women's matches 4, but when you see this match, you're like, yes, this is the freaking main event of this show. It had that old school feel, the whole show builds up to that main event.
Mm-hmm. And I guess from here, we'll pause and we'll actually talk about the match later. Alright, so I done kind of messed up when I was editing this thing, and I accidentally deleted the last part of J-Dogg and I's podcast when we were talking about RJ Myers and JB. So to put it plain, we both really enjoyed the match. I referenced the 8 minute, 8 seconds, please. That 8 minute video packet before the match, but we both would kind of agree that it was necessary. And I think overall, we both thought the match told a great story, and it was a good match. I think it was a good match. Some of J-Dogg's favorite spot was the superplex on the top rope, and then the following suplex after that with his leg hitting the ladder, and then it just got brutal towards the end with RJ basically trying to destroy JB's leg. And I thought overall this match was good storytelling. I think this match really felt like a main event with the amount of with the commentary that we put behind it, with the just the production of it all, the crazy use of highlight reels during that match. And me personally, I think this was a match of the season contender due to just the storytelling aspect, the fact that it was such an incredibly good match. I can't really think of a whole lot of flaws with it. I think it went the right amount of time that it should have went. I thought it went the right amount of time. The story was great, and the proper results happened too, with RJ finally getting the win and becoming the new AOR World Champion. And then what happened afterwards, J-Dogg talked about how it caught him by surprise, because I legit didn't tell him about this, and it caught him by surprise. So Brandino came out, beat him with a bat. Then the Black Assassins came out, they did their thing, and then it ended up being revealed that it was Jackson Wade who set everybody up, who set up RJ with this whole bounty thing. And something that J-Dogg mentioned that he personally enjoyed about that post match stuff, because you take guys like Brandino, who admittedly he didn't feel was ready for that spot, but he took Brandino, and then you take Ortiz and Evil, who hasn't been there long, all three of them who hasn't been there long, and now they're in this main event level feud, the main event level angle, and they're going to get a huge rub from being with Jackson Wade, who's already seen as kind of a main eventer himself. He felt that Johnny Evil and Simon Ortiz wasn't really out of place here, but Brandino kind of was. so that's something now kind of work on and kind of get him to feel like that main event guy himself. I mean, because he's shown it. He had a great match with RJ. He did well in the 6-man tag. So I'm going to continue to evolve and work with his character and try to get him to that main event level. I think finally we talked about JB title reign as a whole, and we talked about how initially JB didn't really feel like a main eventer, hence why the women division really kind of took off, because in part JB didn't really feel like a main eventer yet, and I kind of made a concerted effort that made sure that women's division took off and did well and performed well. But so yeah, we basically talked about how JB's title reign, how it was a good evolution of his character and everything, and how RJ was a good opponent for him. And I think overall, for the match itself, we rated it about I rated it 5 personally. I rated it a 5, and I think J-Dogg rated about 4.5 to 5, because it was great. I couldn't really think of a whole lot of flaws with it. Post match angle were pretty good too, and we're gonna I'm going to keep you guys under wrap as far as what goes on, what I have next planned for that storyline. And then overall, I gave the show about a good 8.5 out of 10. Get 8.5 out of 10. J-Dogg essentially kind of agreed with me there. So that was just our summed up thoughts on RJ versus JB. Again, my apology for the for the editing mishap when it came to putting that last part together. But that was what we thought. Great match, great storytelling. Enjoyed the post-match angle. We'll keep you guys under wrap before what's coming next. That way y'all have to stay tuned and watch to see what happens next. But until then, hope you guys have enjoyed the rest of the podcast. Again, my apologies for the editing. J-Dogg links and stuff will be down there in the description. Till the next time I see you guys, be a boss, and I will holla at you guys later.